Rumors have been swirling around the internet that Donovan Mitchell appears to be on the market. His Utah Jazz have devolved into chaos. They can't be satisfied after winning 49 games and being eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. Meanwhile, Mitchell is shrouded by rumors. He's said to want a larger market. Also, people strongly suspect that he doesn't get along with Rudy Gobert. Is this the reason for his possible trade this offseason? Let's dive in. First up, here are 3 crazy trades that we would love to see for Utah Jazz player Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell Jr., aka Donovan Mitchell, is a professional basketball player who currently plays for the Utah Jazz. Before becoming big time, he was a member of the Louisville Cardinals during his college career. He was chosen 13th overall by the Denver Nuggets in the 2017 NBA draft and was traded to the Utah Jazz on draft night. Now, his name's been all over the NBA news lately due to the fact that many believe he's going to be traded this next offseason, or maybe the one after. But why? Well, after what feels like years of drama and tension between Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell, a number of seemingly impossible meltdowns to end the 2021 to 2022 regular season, the addition of former Boston Celtics executive Danny Ainge to the front office, and a second straight postseason collapse, the Utah Jazz appear to be headed for some big changes. Utah's finished 4th in the league winning percentage and 2nd in defensive rating since Mitchell's debut in 2017. In terms of total plus-minus, Gobert is only 2nd to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Mitchell, however, is ranked 15th, but it appears both are on the verge of elimination in the playoffs. Now, in terms of trades, Donovan Mitchell's name is frequently associated with the Knicks, the Heat, and the Hawks. However, many people believe that he'll never be traded into any of these teams. In this video, you won't find him on any of these teams. Rather, some more out there crazy Donovan Mitchell trades. One that does completely switch up his NBA career, or ones plural, I suppose. We'll be thinking outside the box here, and we encourage you to do the same. There are no guarantees in today's NBA. Donovan Mitchell could end up almost anywhere before the 2022 to 2023 season. So let's take a look at 3 crazy trades that we would love to see involving Mitchell. The first trade we would love to see would be Mitchell traded to the Sacramento Kings for Richaun Holmes and Harrison Barnes. Despite all the legitimate criticism leveled at the Utah Jazz, the team has made a habit of making the playoffs over the years. On the other hand, the Sacramento Kings are in the midst of an NBA record 16-year playoff drought. So basically, the Kings are desperate to win. They gotta make the playoffs next year, no matter how they do it. Acquiring Donovan Mitchell appears to be a good option for him. After all, he'd be joining De'Aaron Fox in one of the league's most talented backcourts. The Kings' trio of these two, newly acquired Domantas Sabonis, should form the foundation of a top 10 offense. The Kings' defense will suffer as a result, but I mean, who cares? Having Mitchell within the team is going to drastically improve their odds of making it to the playoffs. The second trade, which would be beneficial for everybody involved, will be trading Donovan Mitchell to the New Orleans Pelicans, and Utah receiving CJ McCollum. In this case, Utah Jazz if they receive a later pick in the upcoming draft, but an additional first-round pick they received also as compensation. That is arguably a high price for the Pelicans to pay. McCollum, after all, is a quality NBA player, despite being 5 years older than Mitchell. Still, in 2022, he's not in Mitchell's league. Furthermore, the Pelicans need to have a successful 2022 to 2023 season. Zion Williamson is already rumored to be on his way out. Could a trip to the conference finals persuade him to stay in New Orleans? Now, if this trade went down, the Pelicans would certainly have a greater chance of making the playoffs, but the only question that remains would be how far that they would advance. A trio of Williamson, Mitchell, and Brandon Ingram would definitely be among the NBA's most talented, so if everything worked perfectly, the sky would be the limit for the both teams involved in the trade. And last but not least, a trade between the Utah Jazz and Golden State Warriors would be epic to see. The Warriors would receive Andrew Wiggins, Jonathan Kuminga, and a 2023 first-round pick in this potential trade. This exchange is contingent on the outcome of the Golden State Warriors' upcoming season. If they win the NBA championship this year, they're unlikely to make a bold move signing Mitchell. Indeed, one could argue that the Warriors have already achieved enough success to avoid going down that road. In this package, they're giving up a lot. Wiggins has emerged as an exceptional 3 and D wing with secondary shot creation abilities. Kuminga has the potential to be a future superstar. A first-round unprotected pick is a valuable asset. Furthermore, does Mitchell truly belong in this team? Will his possession of the ball step on Curry's toes? So, how about Jordan Poole's? Would such a trade force Klay Thompson to play the 3 position full-time? That's a lot of questions to be answered. Donovan Mitchell's talent, however, is the one answer that fits all of them. If the Warriors fall short of their ultimate goal in 2021 to 2022, bringing him in, they could transform them into an unstoppable force the following season. And if it works out, it'll be worth everything the Warriors sacrificed, and then some. Bonus trade, the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat are rumored to be looking for a star this offseason, and Utah Jazz star Donovan Mitchell as a possible target. Now, Mitchell has often been linked to the Heat on several different occasions in the last year, with his future in Utah up in the air after Jazz failed to advance past the second round of the NBA playoffs for the 6th consecutive consecutive season. Eric Walden from the Salt Lake Tribune went into depth in his article that was proposing potential trades for the Jazz with every team in the NBA, one of which included the trade with the Heat to bring Mitchell down to Miami. The Heat, on the other hand, would be willing to part with a sizable sum in order to add a third certified superstar to join Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo on the roster, Max Strus, Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson, Omer Yurtseven, PJ Tucker, and a trio of first-round picks in 2022, 2024, and 2027 are among the players that the Heat will send to Mitchell, according to Walden. Here's what else was said about the proposed deal. First up, Mitchell would provide the Heat with an explosive scorer who's averaged more than 25 points a game in the last 2 seasons. However, the deal would devastate much of the depth on which Miami has relied on their current run of success. Having said that, it's become clear that Butler requires more consistent offensive help, and Mitchell could provide that. However, when it comes to roster construction, head coach Eric Spoelstra defers to team president Pat Riley. Now, the veteran coach believes that the Heat can succeed if they keep their current core together, but what do you think? Finally, in other NBA news, one of the greatest players of all time, aka LeBron James, has recently been added to the Forbes billionaire list. LeBron James has added a new title to his already impressive resume, billionaire. In a report published very recently, Forbes estimated the Los Angeles Lakers star to have a net worth of, well, $1 billion. Now, this really something, because he is the first ever active NBA player to achieve this honor. Michael Jordan, whose net worth estimates $1.7 billion, didn't become a billionaire until 11 years after retiring from the NBA. According to Forbes, James earned $121.2 million last year, second only to Lionel Messi's $130 million. Despite earning nearly $400 million in salary during his NBA career with the Lakers, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and Miami Heat, James's off-court earnings far outweigh his sports career. According to Forbes, James, who is currently 37 years old, has earned more than $900 million in business investments and endorsements. Among them is his entertainment company, Spring Hill, which he sold a minority stake at for $725 billion. Spring Hill has produced shows like The Shop and a docuseries about Naomi Osaka, as well as the James-starring film Space Jam: A New Legacy. In addition, his real estate portfolio is estimated to be worth $80 million, which includes a $10 million property in Akron, Ohio, 2 homes in LA worth a total of $60 million. Yeah, that's pretty impressive, right? Now, since coming into all this money, James has invested heavily in his hometown, Akron, opening a school and planning housing and a community center to help families and children. We love to see it. And there you have it, everything you need to know about 3 crazy trades that many believe NBA Utah Jazz player Donovan Mitchell would be great for. Now, these trades are not as likely as whatever, but regardless, they would be pretty epic to see happen. Do you think that Mitchell is going to be traded this offseason or next? Do you think that Utah Jazz might decide to keep him around a little longer? Let us know what you think in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.